Hello guys, good morning. This is Slick Codes once more, and I would be showing you how to work with conditionals in JavaScript. Okay, basically how to control the flow of your program and how to work with logical operators. Okay, I hope you are enjoying your training so far, and if you have any questions until now, feel free to reach out to me so that I can see what can be done to unblock you. Okay, so let's proceed. Let's go. In order for you to understand the control flow, or better still conditionals, you need to take into account the fact that everything you do is based on certain conditions. Okay, from waking up from waking up from sleep, brushing your teeth, eating, they are all conditionals. Okay, everything, almost everything in the world, is based on conditions. Okay, they happen based on certain conditions. Okay, for example, let's make use of your waking up from bed. Okay, I'm not a medical doctor, but this will be rough, but I'm sure that you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, if you are tired of sleeping, wake up. Okay, yeah. So if you've had enough sleep, wake up. It's all if and if else. Okay, if you've had enough sleep, wake up, else keep sleeping. If your pocket is dry, stay up late and work hard. Yeah, so if there's no money on ground, you have to go out to work. If there's plenty of money, you can decide to rest. Okay, so many conditions. Okay, if you feel hungry, you eat. Okay, if you feel hungry, if you have money, then go out to get something to eat. So they are all if and if else, but they are just silent on the background, but you're actually making decisions based on certain conditions. That's everything about if else, nested if statements, switch statements, they are all conditionals. Okay, you use them to control the flow of your program. So your program might be going on one direction, and you can set a condition at the front and say, when you get here, if this condition is this, if it's true or if it's false, go here or go here. So if it's true, go left. If it's false, go right, like that. So that's how it works. Okay, another quick example: when you're driving, if there's a car in front of you, or there's any object in front of you, you apply your brake. So we just deal with if else statements throughout our lives. Okay, so this should be one of the easiest concepts for you to understand. But in order for you to understand this, I would firstly need to introduce you to comparison operators. Okay, these are operators that you use to compare values. Okay, you can compare two values to get a result. Okay, your result is always a boolean value. All right, so not to get you confused, let's actually create a JavaScript file. I'll say app.js, and we know I'll need an HTML file to see what we're doing. So HTML, this are all boilerplate codes. I'm sure that you must have gotten a lesson on how these work. Okay, from your HTML and CSS class. So I'll just say app. Alright, now I have to link to my JavaScript. Okay, yep. So I'm linked to my JavaScript, my external JavaScript file, which is app.js. What I did here was script. It just says script, then it specified the source and the path to the source. Okay, in this case dots / because they are on the same directory. Okay, then the name of the file. Okay, so that's how it works. So right now I'm connected to this file, so anything I do here happens or appears as if I'm doing it on this page because I just connected that file to this page. So that's how it works. So let's go quickly, let's test to see if it's working. This works. So I'll go on my browser, and I'll quickly check my console. Right click inspect, you should know this by now, and click on console. So this works. Okay, so let's go, let's start working with conditionals. Okay, so I told you I'll have to close this, let's be left with this. So I told you that conditionals evaluate to either a true result or a false result. So it's like true or false. It's a world where there is no in between, there is no gray, you either have white or black. So anytime you compare two values with a conditional, the result is either true or false. Okay, so that is that basically. All right, so let's go. I would take this. So we have triple equals sign, equals to. Okay, this is a conditional, or a what's it called now, comparison operator. Okay, so what I do is this. I would say console.log 1 equal to 2. So I'm comparing 1 and 2. So what I'm saying is check if 1 is equal to 2. All right, we would have used something like this, 1 equals 2. So this is not correct because this is an assignment operator. All right, you're saying 1 equals 2 is an assignment operator. Okay, so what we are doing is we want to compare, so that's where you use triple equals sign. So this is saying check if 1 is equal to 2 in a sense of equality. So you are not assigning now, you are checking if they are equal. Okay, so what will happen is this: the result of this comparison operation will be printed on our console. That's the meaning of console.log, and now it says false, and that is actually correct because 1 is not equal to what? To 2. So if I say 2 equals 2, it says true because that's true, that's correct. Okay, now let's make use of variables. You can use const or let. Okay, so I'll just make use of const, and I'll say a equals 1, and I'll say const b equals what now? 2. Okay, now if I come here, just say a. Remember, when we say a, when we call a variable, we are referring to its value. All right, so it's the same thing as saying 1 here. Okay, if I say a, and when I say b, we are referring to 2 because b is equal to 2. So you see, we are using this assignment operator and we're using this comparison operator. So b equals 2. So if I come here, what would you expect to get? would expect to get false. Yeah, because why? A isn't equal to what now? To B. Okay, if I come here now and say let this be 2, what are we expecting? Is 2 equals to 2, A equals B, but literally or actually we are saying 2 equals 2. So we're asking if 2 is equal to 2, so we're saying is 2 equals to 2, and that's true. Okay, so we got that. Alright, so I could say const result equals A equal to 2. Okay, let's see if this even works. See how you see we are using the assignment and comparison together. So let's see what we get. Results. Don't think I've ever written a line like this, but let's go. Refresh and we get true. Okay, so result now refers to the outcome of this comparison, so it's actually true being returned here. So this operation is evaluated and the result or the outcome is attached to result. So when you call result, you're actually calling the result of this operation. Okay, if you want to make your code more readable, you can put this in a bracket. All right, sorry, I have a setting on my machine that auto styles my code or corrects my code or arranges my code. Okay, so it's actually saying when I save, the bracket goes away because the configuration is actually saying there's no need for brackets there. But I'm telling you that if you need, you can try it on your end. If you need to make this like this, it also works. Okay, for readability. All right, so that's how it works. Pretty simple. Compare with this. All right, so what other type of comparison operator do we have? This is called the equality comparison operator. Okay, you check if something is equal. So you have equal and you have not equal. So this is the not symbol, the exclamation mark we have there. So if I say not equal to, so check if A, which is 2, is not equal to B, which is 2. So this should evaluate to what now? To false. Okay, so if I refresh, that is false because A is equal to B, and we're trying to check if A is not equal to B, and the answer is false. Okay, so that's how it works for equality, non-equality. Okay, so this is equals to, this is not equals to. All right, so we can have less than and greater than. Okay, this helps you to test if one value is less than or greater than another. So let's go. If I replace this to less than now, let me say B. So I'm trying to check, is A less than B? Obviously 2 is not less than 2, so the answer is what now? The answer is false. So if I refresh, you still get false. Okay, I'll come now and say for greater than, we use the caret pointing forward. Okay, you can remember this with less than and greater than in mathematics. Okay, so this is how it works. All right, so we're saying A is A greater than B, and that is also false because A is not greater than B, they are equal, so it's also false. We get false. If I say let this be 4, you can guess that this will return true because now A is what? Greater than B, because 4 is greater than 2. Okay, so I come and refresh and we get true. All right, if I make this guy 2 and make this guy 4, obviously we will have a false response because why? A, which is 2, is not greater than B, which is 4. Okay, so that's correct. So that's for less than and greater than comparison operators. Okay, we can have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So we can check if A is greater than or equal to B. So is A greater than or equal to B? The answer is false. Why is that? It is so because A is 2 and B is 4, so A is not greater than or equal to B. But if we say 2, 2, we're checking is 2 greater than or equal to 2, because A refers to 2 and B refers to 2, and that should give us true. Because why? It is not greater than, but it is equals, equal to B. So we're saying greater than or equal to, so it returns what? True. In this case, true is our response. All right, so the same works for less than or equal to. Just say less than or equal to B, and yeah, you get true. Okay, so just take your time. I always tell my students, your computer will not explode. Take your time, digest a concept, understand it, play with it. Don't just rush off and say you understand it. No, you have to put your hands to work, okay, and it will come around. All right, it becomes easier as you work. So there's something you need to note: any value that is not false, undefined, null, 0, none, or an empty string actually returns true when tested as a conditional statement. Okay, this is just English. All right, I will explain exactly what it means as we proceed, in the lecture. Okay, this particular topic is going to span through like 2 or more videos, so just sit back, consume it, per video, and you would understand what we are dealing with. Okay, so that is that. Should I touch the if statement in this video? Yeah, I can. I'll just introduce you to it. Then the next video we are going to do more work, on it. So let's go. You now understand how operators work. Yeah, the comparison operators, how they work. Equal to, remember, triple equals, symbol. Then you have not equal to exclamation, and 2 equals symbol, together. That's not equal to. Then you have less than, you have greater than, you have less than or equal to, you have greater than or equal to. Okay, let me make this more simpler for you. So we have equal, or we have not equal, not equal. Okay, we have less than, we have greater than. Okay, if you still have issues knowing which one is which, less than, points backward, greater than points forward, ever, greater we go, higher we go, less than is going backward. So yeah, that should be easy. Okay, so less than or equal to. So this takes the less than first before the equal to, so just remember that. All right, yeah, so we have greater than or equal to. So greater than or equal to. Okay, so that is that. So let's make use of these guys, okay, with our if statement. All right, let's go. Now this is the syntax for an if statement. You have the if keyword, and opened, and closed brackets, I will just say parenthesis, curly braces, which is a scope. We talked about scope during one of the first videos. Okay, a scope, is a sphere of existence or of influence, of relevance of a variable, okay, or a set of code. So we have the if keyword, open and close braces, okay, and then we have open and close curly brackets. Okay, so this is the syntax I replace now. If open and close, then we have open and close braces, okay, curly braces. That's how you get your if statement. Okay, this is how your if statement works. All right, so let's go. What happens here? You put your condition, okay, that's where your condition lives. Then here, set of code to run, okay, if condition is true. All right, so this set of codes would only run if this condition is true. Okay, let's go now. I create a variable, let money on ground equals true. Alright, so I'll say if money on ground, run setting code, say console.log, there is now money on ground. Alright, so this is it. So you see, and now you have to always remember that when you call a variable, you are referring to its value. So this is translating to true within the program. Okay, so we are saying if true, and you should note that the codes in an if statement will only run, okay, within an if statement. The first block of an if statement would only run if the condition evaluates to true. So whatever you put here, money on ground, has to evaluate to true. Alright, so in this case, this is directly assigned to true, so that is why this would run. So if I save and we refresh our browser, sorry, money on ground is not defined. I must have spelled something wrong. Money on ground, Monday on ground. So I correct my typo there, and it's working out. There is now money on ground. Okay, so that's how it works. Now let's bring back the concept of greater than, equals to, those conditional operators we just talked about. Sorry, I'm going backward. All right, we're here now. I simply remove all these and I'll paste this. So this is what I want. I would say if I'll change A to account balance, and I'll make it 0, and I'll say, I'll come here and say, third, delete this guy, and B will become money on ground. Money on ground. So here I'll say account balance, check if account balance is greater than 0. So if account balance is greater than 0, you know, money on ground becomes true. Because why? Account balance greater than 0, this on its own has to evaluate to a value, and that value would be what? Would be false in this case, because account balance is actually 0, which is this. So it's like saying 0 greater than 0, which is false, because 0 is equal to 0. So now I'm saying if account balance is greater than 0, you know, store. Okay, what I'm saying is this: evaluate this expression and store the result in this variable. Okay, so in this case, this becomes false. You see now? So money on ground now represents false. Therefore, our code will not run. Now this is a smart editor. It quickly blurred this code out, because you know this is as good as nothing, because nothing will happen. If I save now and come here, nothing happens, because this would only run if the result of whatever is here results to true. That's only when this would work. Okay, and in this case this is saying false. All right, so I'll come here and say money on ground. So account balance greater than 0, that's false. Money on ground will be false. Therefore means that, you know, sorry, my typo again. Money on ground. I'm saying Monday instead of money. Monday. Okay, so here we are. Nothing happens. Alright? Because this is evaluating to false. Its value is false. Alright, so if I come here now and say account balance 10, save, there is now money on ground. Okay, because I have money. Account balance is 10, so I'm saying 10 greater than 0. Alright, and this is true because 10 is greater than 0. You get? So that's how it works. Okay. Yup. Now you notice that when this evaluated to false, I was unable to run anything on my program. So the whole code, you know, on this file became useless because nothing happens. So what's the use? All right, so I want to create another condition that would, you know, happen, or another block of code that would run in case this condition here evaluates to false as it is now. Okay, so let me change this back to money on ground, and this is false. Okay, I'll simply just come here and say else, open another block. So what I do now, I'm going to say console.log there is no money on ground, send money now. Okay, so this is this. Refresh, there is now money on ground. Why? Because account balance is 10, but once account balance gets to 0, that means we are saying 0, check if 0 is greater than 0, and this is false, so this will be false. Therefore means that this first part of the code would not run, but this would run. Okay, and once I refresh, you're going to see there is no money on ground, send money now. I think there's no money on ground. Alright, so yeah, there's no money on ground, send money now. That's it. So what are we saying here? Let's read this through. Okay, I'll remove these comments that you see the code working. So I say if money on ground console.log, that's log this out on the console, there is now money on ground. Else log on the console, this is no money on ground. It's supposed to be there, HERE, there is no no money on ground. Send money now. All right, so that's how it works. If money on ground here, else here. So money on ground holds a boolean, value, which could be either true or false. Okay, and that's how it works. I'm going to end this video here, and in the next video I'll clear this up and it will make more sense. In case you are still confused, it is normal, completely normal, and I would help clear your confusion in the next video. Thank you so much for your time. See you again.